question I've always thought to ask, but never have asked up until this point, because I want to hear what Drinker and Gary and the other guests would have to say. Wrath of Khan or Empire Strikes Back?
Oh, jeez.
Wrath of Khan for me.
Man, that's hitting bedrock. Jeez.
I'm going to say Wrath of Khan for me, just because it probably had more impact on me in my formative years.
I would have the reverse answer for the same reason, because I think they're both excellent films.
Yeah, and I can't dispute that response either.
Yeah, I saw Wrath of Khan as a kid, and I kind of remember it, and I kind of don't remember. I still have to watch it again.
It's going to come down to, like, are you a Star Trek guy or a Star Wars guy?
I'm more of a Star Wars guy.
Yeah. So, and that's totally understandable.
Honestly, it'd be easier for me to pick out a favorite kid, but which I can do, by the way. Hear that, boys? No,
there's always a favorite one. There's always
depends on the day. No, dude. Now I'm a Star Trek guy. I still got to say Empire. Because when I saw Empire, it was so different from Star Wars. And I'll never forget seeing the trailer for the first time. I'm like, what is this? And it just felt like they leveled up and they took it in the direction where you'd always made it a little darker. They got their ass kicked. If you ever see that the first trailer blew me away, where like R2 gets, you see Luke running around Cloud City, and R2's following him, and he gets shut behind the door. And it's just, as a kid, you're seeing that, like, what is going on? They're losing. Yeah, it blew me away. But then, of course, you know, it was like 2 years later, I saw Wrath of Khan, and it was the same. But I'm like one of the few people who like Star Trek the motion picture, like, a lot.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's a very Star Trek movie.
I feel more
Empire. Empire was first, I guess. That's the best way to do it. Empire was first.
When I got MauLer to watch Wrath of Khan, he was like, I should probably watch the motion picture first, just to get a little bit of like background. And I was,
you were like, nah, don't need to.
You don't watch it, Or like, I was kind of apologizing for it in advance. Like, I'm sorry this movie got made and it's gonna like eat up 3 hours of your time or whatever. But like, yeah, you quite got into it, so that's
I just appreciate it for what it's trying to be, which is like classic sci-fi. It really came across to me as like, we have a hypothetical to explore, and this is going to be our motion picture to explore that. And I was like, I appreciate that. Not the speed of my generation, but I still thought, you know, that was neat. Wrath of Khan, on the other hand, I was like, oh, like this is different. Also a level up.
I mean, this is hard. I mean, as a kid, I wanted to live in the world of Star Wars, and Empire Strikes Back is packed with innovations, the asteroid chase, the Hoth battle, the color palettes from Dagobah to Bespin City, the beautiful character relationships and the character arcs and different storylines converging, the epic lightsaber duel at the end, the brilliant conceit where you're introduced to Yoda and they make you believe this puppet because you're fooled as well as Luke is. So that's a brilliant way to draw you in. So that's the world I wanted to live in. But in terms of, I'd say the Wrath of Khan, because its emotional depths is just the better film. So I have to go with Wrath of Khan.
I feel like, and I don't want to, I know I'm going to come across as super biased here. I would probably say Wrath of Khan has more to say about the characters, about perhaps getting older, about finding new meaning in your life,
it's
and like the
more
second
adult.
half of your life. Yeah,
it's more adult than Empire for sure.
And I'm not trying to take anything away from Empire, because like it's an incredible movie as well. But yeah, I suppose it's
crazy, Drinker, watching it like as a kid and looking at Kirk and yeah, he is getting old. And then watching it later, and I'm older than he is in the movie. He's not getting old. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I feel fine.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, but as a kid, like being over 30 seems like impossibly old. Like, oh man, does your back hurt at that age?
I just want to throw out an obligatory. Empire is about a hell of a lot, especially considering all of the Dagobah scenes. Just saying, just putting it out there, okay?
No, I agree. I'm not taking that away from it for sure.
What I like about Wrath of Khan too is, like in a modern Star Trek film, you'll have a spaceship fight where they're zooming around and there's 20 ships. They're all blasting each other with lasers, and it doesn't mean anything visually. But I like situations in space battles where people are compromised, where the situation is muddied, where you've got raw recruits, where you've got a hijacked ship, where the stakes are just figuring themselves out as you're going. When it's slow, and I like those situations better because people have to think, they have to work through situations, they have to bluff. So that's way cooler.
Did you like the space chase in TLJ? Because that was super slow.
No, fuck off. I have to I have to ask the question though. Like, it feels like a bit of an elephant in the room. It's like, because of big emotional moments. Like, I mean, Empire's got one of the most famous, if not the most famous movie moment of all time.
Yeah.
You know, like, I feel like I don't even need to say it, but the emotional moment of "I am your father," like, it's basically burned into my skull. Like, it's it's pretty. Yeah. I was just curious, how does that? Because not to deny, Wrath of Khan has some of the most famous movie moments as well. I'm just saying.
This is a chance to resolve a question that I have. When Kirk is delivering the eulogy and he says, of all the beings I've met in my time, his was the most human. And then what's that word he says after? Is it like among us? What is that word he says when he's?
It's an order. I think it's something to the effect of like shoulder arms or something, like as in like salute, because like the coffin's now going out to get fired out the photon torpedo tube.
Yes, it's an order.
Oh, because I thought that was still Kirk and his voice is still
it's someone else who delivers that, I think. But yeah,
James Doohan came up with
it's Kirk.
James Doohan came up with the idea of doing the bagpipes. That was James Doohan's own idea.
Yeah.
I mean, like Amazing Grace, I guess, is one of those songs that, like, when it's played on the bagpipes, it's designed to like wring emotion out of you, so it was always going to be pretty effective. But yeah, it's good.
James Horner turns it into the sweeping orchestral version of it. Oh my god!
Yeah,
come on.
Sorry, we just hijacked your Empire.
No. This is all true. Like, it's hard, even to the point where it's fucking. They do a previously on in the third movie, and I was just sitting there like, God, that was so good.
But this is so annoying. Like, we're talking about movies that were made like 35, 40 years ago. Yeah. Like, oh my god, they were so fucking good. It's like, who's going to be talking about like Star Trek Into Darkness, or The Rise of Skywalker? Remember that bit where fucking Rey died, and then like. Fucking Ben Swallow brought her back to life, and then he died, and they kissed, and then that was it. Oh my god, the emotion, man! Fucking Ben Swallow. Fuck those movies.
Remember when she raised the dagger up?
Abrams, you fucking hack! I hate you.
She raised the dagger up, and the dagger matched up to the fallen Death Star and stuff.
Just so chat aren't blindsided about this, we're not fans of the sequel trilogy, guys. Just if you
in case you wondered,
They've been following us. They're very aware.
God damn, Red Letter Media they called it like
people here.
They just called this years ago, or the old meme. Like, how does it feel to see your favorite franchises go down in flames?
For all of their amazing moments and predictive powers, they are also, and he feels shame for this. They're the ones. I say they're the ones. Mike is the one that said J.J. Abrams should take control of Star Wars.
Yes, I remember their review of TFA.
Where it's not TFA, it's The Rise of Skywalker, where he says, "I'd like to address something. It's not my fault." Because it's just fully recognized that the worst thing that happened to Star Wars and Trek probably is J.J. Abrams.